Are you ready to change how you see problems? What if every challenge you face is not a stop sign, but a secret path to success? What if what stands in your way actually becomes the way forward? Welcome to English Journey. I'm Celine, and on this channel, we help you grow personally while mastering English. We release new videos every day to help you improve your English skills and build a better life. If you want to learn how to turn difficulties into strengths, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. We have key takeaways and a short quiz at the end, so stay tuned. The obstacle is the way, turning problems into opportunities. This powerful book, The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday, teaches us a deeply insightful and very important idea. Every problem, every difficulty, and everything that seems to block your path can actually be your path to success. This is a central theme that runs through the entire book. It is not about being super optimistic all the time or seeing everything through rose-colored glasses. Instead, it's about being clear-eyed, logical, and prepared for whatever life brings. It's about approaching and facing problems in the most effective and practical way possible. The book begins by sharing an old Zen story that perfectly illustrates this core concept. There was once a king who believed his people had become too soft. To test them, he placed a large boulder on the main road leading into town. He then hid and watched to see how his people would react. He observed as person after person approached the obstacle, became discouraged, and often cursed the king or simply gave up. Many waited for someone else to solve the problem, but no one did. Finally, one man came along and decided to take action. He grabbed a large stick, used it as a lever, and with great effort, pried the boulder out of the path, rolling it off the trail. What he found underneath was a pouch filled with gold coins and a note. The note said, "Never forget, inside every obstacle is a chance to improve our condition." This inspiring story perfectly shows the main idea of the book. The obstacle is the path. This idea aligns with the ancient Roman philosopher Marcus Aurelius, who said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." The book is divided into 3 main parts, or disciplines, which are like essential ingredients. These 3 parts are perception, action, and will. Together, they provide a powerful framework that helps you take a negative situation and turn it into a positive one. Part 1. Perception. How you see the problem. Perception is the very first and most crucial step. It is about how you choose to see a problem or a situation. If you decide to see a problem as terrible, unfair, or impossible to overcome, it will often become exactly those things for you. But what if you could change that? What if you could adjust your lens, your perception, and see these obstacles in a completely different way? Consider an obstacle as a big, scary monster blocking your path. That is one common way to perceive it. But what if, instead, you choose to see it as a teacher, as something that is there to test you, to challenge you, and ultimately to make you stronger? The physical obstacle itself does not change, but your internal view of it, your perception, does. This shift in how you see things doesn't happen overnight. It needs consistent practice. It starts with awareness, being conscious of how you are thinking and perceiving situations. Then it requires effort to challenge and alter your current views. Instead of getting disheartened or feeling sad when you face a problem, you learn to ask yourself important questions like, what can I gain from this? How can I grow because of this challenge? Over time, seeing obstacles this way can become second nature, a natural part of your thinking. You begin to see challenges not as roadblocks, but as opportunities. This is the incredible power of perception. To effectively improve your perception when you face a major problem, especially one that seems truly daunting or frightening, here are 3 essential tips. 1. Focus on what you can control. Ignore what you cannot. 2. Remain objective. Do not get caught up in subjective emotions or projections. 3. Stay in the present moment. Do not spiral into regrets about the past or worries about the future. The present is the only time you can truly take action and make a difference. You already possess the inherent qualities necessary to perceive the opportunity in any obstacle: logic, clear thinking, reason, and cool-headedness. Deploying them effectively is simply a matter of discipline, consistent practice, and forming new habits. The book uses the example of John D. Rockefeller to illustrate the discipline of perception. As a young man, Rockefeller entered the world of finance during the Panic of 1857, a major financial crisis. While many others panicked and left their careers, Rockefeller saw this as an apprenticeship in difficulty. He used it as a chance to learn, observe, and understand the market during both its best and worst times. He was shaped by this experience, learning how people became irrationally excited, but then lost confidence and missed chances. Rockefeller's discipline during this chaos made him a great investor. He even made a lot of his money during other economic panics later in his life because he remained calm under pressure. This calmness came from training and exposure to difficult situations early in his life. Another example of perception is seen with the first Apollo astronauts, like John Glenn. When Glenn orbited the Earth as the first American to do so, his heart rate never went above 100 beats per minute. This level of nerve control came from practicing difficult situations over and over again until they were no longer scary. This training allows people like police officers, special forces, or athletes to stay calm under immense pressure. The story of Pericles during the Peloponnesian War further highlights this. When a solar eclipse blacked out the sun, his men were terrified because they didn't understand what was happening. Pericles quickly thought, and by putting his cloak over a man's face and asking if that darkness frightened him, he showed them that darkness itself was not scary, regardless of its cause. This ability to break things down logically is a key part of clear perception. You must be wise and intelligent to talk yourself out of the fear you might feel. The goal is to reach a place where, while everyone else sees only difficulty and hopelessness, you can see something positive. The book also emphasizes the power of perspective. This means understanding that how we view something greatly influences our experience of it. It's like wearing special glasses where the color of the lens changes everything you see. When an obstacle appears, our first thought might be that it's a problem, leading to stress. But by changing our lens, we can view it as an opportunity to learn, to test our strength, or to find new solutions. This shift requires effort, questioning our automatic negative thoughts, and exploring other ways to look at the situation. It might mean asking for different opinions or stepping back to see the bigger picture. When we use this power of perspective, we control how we react to problems. We choose to find the good in a bad situation, focusing on what we can learn or gain. This doesn't change the obstacle, but it changes our experience, helping us navigate challenges with more positivity. Part 2. Action, doing something about it. After you successfully change how you see the problem through proper perception, the crucial next step is to take action. This means moving forward regardless of the challenges that stand in your way. Often, when you face obstacles, it is easy to feel stuck, overwhelmed, or paralyzed. But taking action is the direct antidote to this feeling. It is important to understand that action is not just about massive leaps or heroic efforts. It is also, and often more importantly, about taking small, consistent steps towards finding a solution. It all starts with focusing on what is within your control. You might not be able to instantly remove the entire obstacle, but there are always aspects you can influence, no matter how small they seem. Identify those specific areas, and then start working on them. Taking action also means being adaptable and open to change. The path to overcoming an obstacle may not be straight, clear, or predictable. You might need to try different approaches, learn new things, or even take a step back before you can move forward effectively. The important thing is not to let the obstacle paralyze you. Even if progress seems slow or the challenge feels very difficult, keep moving. Every single step you take is a step closer to your goal. And with each step, you are not just overcoming the immediate obstacle, but also building resilience and gaining valuable experience for future challenges. The book emphasizes that it is common for people to want to skip the small steps when they have a big, ambitious goal. They want to jump from point A to point Z without taking care of points B, C, D, and all the rest. However, to reach major goals, you need to follow a process. This process involves focusing all your energy on the small steps that will get you from point A to point Z. You need to focus on what needs to happen right now. Focus on the specific task at hand, this drill, this single, small step. The path to success is exactly that, a path. And all paths must be walked one step at a time. So, focus on this step, execute it well, and then focus on the next step. This methodical approach is soothing. The path ahead may be long, filled with twists, turns, and unknown dangers, but that does not concern you. All that concerns you is this current step, then the next. These steps are executed perfectly, with total focus. It sounds obvious, but think about it. How many times have you not pursued a goal because it seemed too big? For example, thinking, I can't write a book, that's way too much work. Where would I even start? That is where the process comes in. Do not focus on the massive end goal. Focus on what is right in front of you, what you can do now, no matter how small. Can you write a single sentence? The process can then take care of the rest. Accomplishing major goals is not about brilliance or superhuman strength. It is not about natural talents or lucky breaks. It is about taking one step after the other, completing one small task, and then the next, and the next. Trust the process. Relax into it. That is the only way to walk the path to success. Sometimes, despite your best efforts, things will not work out the way you want. Some obstacles are truly insurmountable. Some paths, through no fault of your own, are simply not passable. If you run up against an obstacle that simply cannot be overcome, keep in mind that you have tried. Nothing can, or ever should, prevent you from trying. If you have tried your best, and persisted in trying, and then realized that no amount of trying will move this boulder in your path, then you can deploy the skills you have already learned. Use this seemingly impossible situation as an opportunity to reinforce other important skills or qualities within yourself. That is the beauty of this approach. Taking action always implies risk. There is the risk that things will not go your way, or that you will be stopped by external events. That is fine. Sometimes there is nothing you can do. Things will not work out exactly as you want. What you can do is be prepared. Not afraid, not disheartened, but prepared. Willing to accept whatever happens and ready to move on, boldly, with acceptance, and eager to see what might happen next. In this way, there are no failures, only lessons. Part 3. Will, your inner strength. Will is the inner strength that keeps us moving forward, especially when things get tough. It is like the engine that powers us through obstacles. When we face challenges, it is our will that helps us stay committed to our goals, even when the path seems difficult and long. True will is not about being stubborn or rigid. It is about resilience and flexibility. It is about having the ability to adapt to changing circumstances and the determination to keep going no matter what. It involves embracing the idea of amor fati, a Latin phrase meaning love of fate. This means accepting what happens to us, not with resignation, but with a positive and embracing attitude. The great Stoic thinkers, such as Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, were masters of will. They focused their will by keeping a single, profound question at the forefront of their minds. What can I control, and what can I not control? They understood that we truly only control one thing: our own mind. Everything external to the mind, like other people's actions, natural events, or the inevitability of death, is outside our direct control. However, all that the mind contains, our emotions, judgments, attitudes, responses, and decisions, these are absolutely within our control. With this understanding, you can build what the Stoics called an inner citadel. This is a metaphorical internal structure that is impervious, or unharmed, by the unpredictable ups and downs of the external world. The Stoics stressed that no one is born with an inner citadel. This is a very important point. You have to actively build your citadel. You have to work at it consistently. It is often wrongly assumed that abilities are simply inborn, and that if someone is born with a disadvantage, they are stuck with it for life. This is simply not true. You can train and strengthen yourself, much like building your inner citadel, so that when hardship comes, you are strong enough to accept it and continue on your chosen path. Perseverance is different from persistence, although they are often confused. Persistence is throwing everything you have at a single problem, a single obstacle. It is trying to break through a wall again and again until you find the solution. Perseverance, however, is different. It is about being in it for the long haul. It is about being ready to face all the obstacles, the temptations, the difficulties, the monsters that life will put in your path. It is a matter of will. If persistence is like energy, then perseverance is like endurance. Life is an ongoing series of obstacles. If you successfully overcome one, get ready to face the next. If you cannot overcome a particular obstacle, do not quit. Instead, persevere. It is entirely up to you whether you keep trying, whether you give up, or whether you get back up after being knocked down. So, why stand in your own way? You have the inner strength to reach your goals, even if it takes many years. It might sound morbid, but we will all face death one day. Not today, you might think, but each day that we do not die, death draws nearer. Death is out of our control. It is not something that we should worry about excessively, but it is something we should think about, because it can give our life renewed purpose and renewed urgency. You do not know when death will come, so the time to take the reins, to focus on the things you can control, is right now. In the face of death, all other obstacles and irritants seem far less troublesome. Why get upset when you get cut off in traffic? Why worry too much? Why not be gracious, kind, and appreciative? Death is coming, so why not live life the right way? If you can do this, if you can turn even this most dreadful obstacle to your advantage, then what obstacle can you not overcome? Finally, before we conclude, remember that you will always have to begin again. One obstacle down, get ready for the next one. Get ready for overcoming an obstacle to potentially create a new obstacle. This might sound exhausting, but the more you do it, the better you will get, and the better the opportunities you find will become. So keep going. Stay unshaken, unhurried, and move with creativity and determination. Know that obstacles are not to be feared. They are to be embraced. They do not stand in the path. They are the path. So, bring them on. Recap and takeaways. Here are the main lessons from The Obstacle is the Way. Perception. How you see a problem is the first step to solving it. Choose to see challenges as opportunities, not hindrances. Action. Do not get stuck or overwhelmed. Take small, consistent steps forward, focusing on what you can control in the present moment. Will. Build your inner strength and resilience to accept what you cannot change and keep going with determination, even when the path is difficult. Obstacles are opportunities. Every difficulty, setback, or hardship can be a hidden chance to grow, learn, and improve yourself. Perseverance. Be ready to face many challenges over a long period of time and never give up on your goals. If you found this summary helpful, please like this video and subscribe to English Journey. Your support helps us create more content to help you on your English learning journey. Now, it's time for a short quiz. Answer these questions in the comments below. Question 1. What are the 3 main disciplines or parts of the book's philosophy for overcoming obstacles? Question 2. In the context of the book, what does perception refer to, and why is it important? Question 3. What is the key difference between persistence and perseverance according to the book? Question 4. According to the Stoics and the book, what is the only thing we truly control? Question 5. What is the meaning of amor fati, and how does it relate to dealing with obstacles? Thank you for watching. Remember, dear English learners, every book you read and every new word you learn is a significant step forward on your journey. Books are powerful tools that not only help you improve your English skills, but also enrich your life and personal growth. Keep learning, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next video.